Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Excellence from CZT Dina Schaffer. Okay, this is a grid-based pattern, and I'm going to do a four square. A lot of times I just do, one. But this is what I feel like doing, so that's what I'm doing. All right, so just a four square. Okay, sort of. Oh, that's not too bad. All right, this is a neat tangle, or it reminds me of. There's a one called Lacy. Laced is a different one. It just reminds me of that. I have to look and see if I even have a video on that. If not, I'll have to do it. All right, so from all of the corners, we're gonna just put a little straight line, and what would that be? Well, third-ish of the way, not necessarily too far in. And as you could see from the cover photo, we're going to have something in the middle here, so and on the ends of these, so you then can play with how far in you want that to go. And something that is kind of nice, I think it looks like I started in going further and then went back and back. So when you do this next step, if you feel like you need to adjust, you can. Because the next step is we're just going to do kind of a, it's not necessarily a seed shape, kind of a tethered orb-ish. Because it's not, from Dinah's pattern, so it's not quite a round orb. To me, it makes these look like matchsticks. And then filling it in at the same time. Like I said, if you need to course correct, so you could like start the orb back here and cover up some of it, or like here, this one is quite a ways away. I could start it right at the end like that. And because we're filling in, it's the perfect cover, the perfect course correction. Because sometimes things happen. This is a nice one too, because it has a neat result. You could do a bit of decorating, and it's just nice because the steps are easy. Don't have to look back at them. Sometimes you just want something like this that I don't know, is a nice grid pattern that you could use to fill in a section, but not have it be one that like I said, not that. Well, no, I take it back. So, I was going to say not that any are really complicated. No, there are some that are complicated. But like I said, this is just a nice one. All right, and even at just this, stopping after having these done, it kind of looks neat. Because usually we're doing a round orb or a seed shape, and the seed shape it would be kind of pointy on the end. So this is this just kind of neat, just the way it is. But so the next step is we're gonna put kind of like a diamond shape, and this is where if these parts are even, it's a little helpful. So some of it's going to be wonky. I'm going to start right here, and so you could do like a curved line in between each one, like so. And then you can decide if you want to fill that in or if you want to aura it. And although I do want to have the ends kind of match up, let's do it a little slower. And you're not necessarily having this line go in too far. I'm probably going a little bit further than what Dinah did. But that's what's this one is a little wonky. But at the same time, it's okay too. Wonky is good. Although I do want those to come to a nice nice little point. And like I said, after this point, this is when you get to decide. Well, how do? Oh no, I'm sorry. One more piece. You get to decide how you want to decorate it. The one more piece is we're gonna do some rounding in all of these corners. I knew I was missing something. And this is where I think in my step out, I just aura'd the center because another thing that I like about this is there's a lot of contrast. So if we were to rate tangles in level of contrast, so the ones that are just lines would say that's light. This one is maybe a medium, and then there's ones like Nightbridge that are like say 50% filling in. That's in my mind. That's how I kind of gauge it. So you have a lot more filled in areas, and so that I would put into the dark category. And it's nice to have a combination of those when you're tangling. It just makes it look nice, but it's all a personal taste as well. Now I'm gonna dare say too. So this one we're doing rounding, which is just putting the little curve line and then filling it in. I'm thinking you could probably do, have it. It wouldn't be rounding, but have it go the other way, and have it be a bump. Because right now, well, we'll see when we get to the middle. And if you were really good, if you didn't fill it in, it could kind of look like a spider web. For this, I try not to think too much because it seems like whenever I think on doing the rounding, I end up doing too much, and then I'm adjusting it, and then the adjusting doesn't seem to work. So sometimes it's just better to just do. Don't think. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And even just like this, it's fine. But I'm gonna do a little just because it's cute. So just a little aura on the inside. This one. No. Oh, Oh, well, here. Wait. But wait. Let's see. How much can I fix by filling in? So if I fill in, because that is the great course corrector. And I'm going to do that one too, so that way it's kind of checkerboardish. And this is always, if you have something that kind of, like I said, goes awry like this, there's always a way to make it a little nicer. I'm extending these a little bit. Let's see if I can fix this one. I mean, most of it's because of my positioning. Oh, whoops, a little too far. That's all right. And then I'll fill in this one, because then it'll look like I meant it that way. The only people that will know are us, so don't tell. And then I'll do the same thing, and maybe I'll bring it up closer a little bit. A lot of times I just sort of trace over the edge of the line. I think I grabbed something there. And a lot of times that will fix, bumpy lines and stuff. But there we go. And actually, looking at it, these look similarly wonky. Not on purpose, but it turned out kind of cool. And so, there's always a way, if something doesn't go right, that it can be course corrected, make you happy, and that's the whole point. So now on shading on this, sometimes when they're like this, it's like, gosh, I don't know. And on Dinah's sample, she didn't have any, but that doesn't mean we can't. Well, you know what? Well, let's just try the most common thing that I would end up doing, and that is just going, and I'm putting some graphite on both sides. Well, here I'm not. On the edges I'm not. I'm going to go on the inside here. And we'll just like basically trace in the grid. And it'll make each section look kind of poofy. But you also don't have to shade it if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. Sometimes it, because I have some where I've not done any shading, and sometimes it's neat to have that kind of flat look. Just bringing this in. You don't have to go over the black, obviously. And this, as you know, I started going over both sides, but I found that it's spreading it a lot nicer, just taking each side on its own. Because what I want is for that center to be the darkest, and if I'm spreading both sides out, then it kind of makes it so that way it's not necessarily dark. Let me make it dim a little bit. There we go. This light is being interesting, and you can go a little bit darker, but you can see how it gives it this rounded edges, having it being dark like that. Also could have done just the outside and not done the inside too. That's always an option. And because I'm thinking about it now, I was like, had I thought about it earlier, I would have tried that and then done it, because it's fun to see what it might look like. But there we go. So sometimes a little bit darker adds a little something to it. And let's see. There we go. Bring that brightness down. Then you can see. So then it looks like, ceramic tiles type of thing. Neat. Neat tangle. Hope you enjoyed it. I love the name. And when you, if you look at the For More Inspiration link, you'll see that the reason she said picked the name because it was during her vacation week, and the hotel was called Excellence. So it's like, oh, well, good. It's a great name. So if you enjoyed it, would love to have a thumbs up, and feel free to share it. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, I would love it if you became a subscriber. In the description section, I said there's links to the step outs. Below that, ways to connect with me if you would like to. I do online classes almost twice a week. Most of them are free. A couple are paid, so that way I can continue to do the free ones. So I appreciate everyone that comes to those, and especially those that are club members, and where they pay. It's a subscription, so it's one fee a month, and you get basically all access. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.